Hey guys, it's Aaron here once more again, and today for all of you another loot haul for the month of April. This right here is everything I was able to acquire this past month. Now without further ado, let's dive right in with everything that I acquired. And we're back, and diving right in with the first thing I require is another model kit added to my collection. This actually right here is going to be one of my first of very many, not just figurized figures, but also Kamen Rider figures, starting off with the first rider that I started my Kamen Rider binge series, Masked Rider Kuga in its mighty form. As I kind of decided, since right now me and my friend finally finished Ryuki a while ago and then started Faiz, I kind of decided I'm actually going to start going down the road of building each of the riders that I've finished series-wise, at least for the Heisei era. So far, I decided to acquire Masked Rider Kuga, his mighty form. This right here is basically Kuga with everything that he gets. All of his armor, detail work, you see right there. Oh, beautiful, all the poses I can do. And there's one thing I do like about the Figuarts, is that like no dig at the regular Gunpla I usually buy, but usually a lot of times the Figuarts a little bit much more detail. You get a little bit much more accessories, and you get a little bit, and you also have right here a little bit more story for Ryuki. For not Ryuki, that's other writer. For Kuga himself, talking about his current wielder, who is Godai. It's probably one of my favorite writers so far. All the forms and his bikes, and his iconic him was his bike himself. And also another thing too, I did not realize they also come with stands, which, for those who know, when it comes to like Gunpla, usually getting the stand really depends. Most of the time when you get stands for model kits, usually the model kit has to be like a bigger box. But most of the time, getting the stand is also pretty nice, so that's actually pretty going to be cool. You get all the poses and stuff. And since this is the mighty form, which I did do a whole video about all of Kuga's forms, and I did do a little bit of discussion right there as well for Kuga's form, so you can watch actually that video. I'll probably put an annotation somewhere around in this video right now. You can probably watch that somewhere there. I did make that video like a couple months back last year, which actually is still probably one of my favorite ones. But yeah, so right now we have Kuga, and the next on the list we have the second rider that I also finished the series, Masked Rider Akito, ground form. This right here is another Figurized standard figure as well. And its design, which is also one of my favorite designs too. Like all the sleek black with the gold right there. And each of the riders having their own motif. What's called Kuga has a whole motif for the beetle, while Agito has the motif of the dragon. You can actually see that right there with their emblems. Right there was kind of like the emblem for Agito right there. Kind of being almost like draconic. Even though it still kind of also looks still beetle too, but it's like the whole motif in the lore most of the time. Which let me tell you, Agito, still probably one of my favorites, at least when it comes to like a little bit more story, because of a little bit more of the world building. So right there, the pose, the iconic pose. Have a little bit screenshot right there from the show itself. And like Kuga, also its own stand, which I am really liking. And I will be doing unboxing videos of these, and builds, and then reviews of these later down the next couple months, because I will be building these. And last but not least of my loot haul, another figure, well not Figurized, but Figuarts, specifically SHFiguarts, as I finally got myself acquiring Super Saiyan Trunks from the Cell Saga. This right here is the Infinite Lane Superpowered Trunks, I should say. This is also technically, if I remember correctly, right, this is the 2.0 one of the Trunks, because I had to redo it. Because the original 1.0, though, from I heard from other people, the 1.0 is still pretty good as well. The only difference between the 2.0 and the 1.0 is that the 1.0 actually had two different trunks. There's Super Saiyan trunks and regular base form trunks. Which, not gonna lie, having two different heads, or at least the hairstyles, would have been really nice. Which, not gonna lie, I will try to get my hands on that 1.0 if I can get my hands on it. But here's everything you can see right here for the Super Saiyan trunks and the Saiyan armor suit, which actually he looks pretty nice so far. It's actually, not gonna lie, this is probably one of my favorite designs for Trunks of all time. Like, I still like Trunks in this when we first showed up. I don't mind Super, but I think Trunks in like the whole battle suit and his hair being crazy kind of is probably one of my favorite designs overall. Especially since what's called DBZ during the Cell Saga was probably one of my favorite arcs in Dragon Ball all entirely. But yeah, right there, that is it for the last of the loot haul. And with that out of the way, folks, that is it for my loot haul for April. Overall, not bad loot haul. It's not one of my biggest ones yet. It's only 3 things. I've done similar loot hauls before, but overall, I'm actually really happy about this. Starting again to my Kamen Rider phase right now, and starting off with the 2 writers already finished series-wise. Still gonna get Ryuki, but Ryuki's gonna have to be next month or so when I get the Figuarts of that one, and I also might get Fies as well with Ryuki. Even though I'm not done with Kamen Rider Fies yet, I still want to have it there as well, so once I finish Fies, I can have that and build that too. Whenever, because I'm doing like watch along with my friends like every week or so, so that's gonna be it. And then adding another SHFiguarts 2D list of my Dragon Ball figures really great. Especially in the Trunks figure, it's been like a little bit hassle to find. Because I was trying to find it in Target because I've been seeing a lot of people finding these in Target and everywhere else. Kohl's, Michael's, Ollie's, and etc., etc., or any other anime shops you have. But I've been or GameStop, but I really had zero luck. But luckily for me, I was able to find it on Amazon for I won't say cheap, but what's called just the regular price of like $35, which wasn't bad. But yeah, overall, that is it for this loot haul, folks. If you did enjoy the video, please consider dropping like, share, and subscribe, as I always do appreciate it, folks. And as always, have a nice day, folks. This is Pyro signing out, and I'll see you guys on the next one.